The Helen Glover Show continues on 920 WHJJ.
Hey, it happens to the best of us, doesn't it? You're married to somebody and, there's always little arguments that come up. Some little arguments can lead to bigger arguments, and some can get downright nasty, and some can lead to divorce. So here to walk us through which of the arguments that you can sort of recover from and which are the ones that send up some big red flags, licensed psychologist Dr. Wendy Rice joins us now. Dr. Rice, good morning. Welcome to the Helen Glover Show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So it's normal to, when you get married, you might fight over the in-laws, or, once you start having kids, you might have some discussions as to, how to raise them or how to discipline them. But that's something that you're saying, that's something you can work through. It doesn't necessarily lead down the road to, more serious problems.
And there's a new study that came out of Kansas State University that suggests that arguments over finances are the worst. And if they start before you're married or very early on in your marriage, it's a sure sign of trouble.
So that's somewhat, boy, I've heard that a lot lately from people who go to those, a lot of churches require that you go and you have these pre-Cana classes. And then I've heard priests tell me that of all things they really want to make sure married couple, soon to be married couples talk about, finances are the most important.
Right. And that's exactly what this study said. And it suggests that arguments about money, use harsher language, last longer, and are harder to get over than arguments about anything else. Like, it tops other arguments by far.
All right, so if you're somebody that's got, the wedding date on the calendar, and you've got your own finances, and your spouse that you're soon to be married to has their own finances, what do you do? I mean, I guess there's a big discussion that needs to happen before you actually walk down the aisle.
Definitely. The recommendations from this study are a couple. One is to meet with a financial planner prior to getting married. Another is to make sure that you pull each other's credit reports.
Oh.
Nothing could be more awful than marrying somebody and finding out after the fact that there's secrets or things they didn't even know about themselves. That could really disrupt your future. You go to buy a house, can't get a mortgage. That exploring some of those things and dealing with them are critical for success.
Yeah, at least getting that out in the open. And I would think, too, nowadays with, if both of the people getting married are college grads, you may want to have a big discussion about how much are your student loans? How much more do you owe? Can we financially fit that in?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
debt is a huge thing, loan repayment. And also beginning to plan for your future together. Because part of what gives people a sense of stability and decreases stress is knowing that you're heading in the right direction in terms of planning for your future.
So even though you might have an argument over, I like this, the bedroom, I'm sure we're not talking decorating there, the in-laws, the kids, but when we argue about money, we tend to get nastier.
That's what this study's showing.
Yeah.
And I also noted that studies done by somebody who is a mental health person as well as a certified financial planner. So while they used broad survey data of 4,500 families, they definitely have an interest in the financial aspects of marriage. In my practice, I see a lot of families with kids who are high-needs kids, special needs kids.
Yep.
And holy cow, can that wreak havoc on a relationship.
Right. Blended families, that's tough, too, because now you're talking about another spouse outside the marriage where kids go off to visit, and so that's tough. But money, I used to say, the root of all evil. These are the arguments that commonly lead to divorce. And, boy, I'll tell you, big red flag if that happens when you're a newlywed.
Right. Go get some help.
Yep,
Go get some help talking about it and working through it. You do not have to do this by yourself.
Licensed psychologist Dr. Wendy Rice, thanks for that advice, Wendy.
You bet.